My name is Bruce Robinette. I'm a native of this southwest region of Virginia, having retired from a career of 42 years in public service. The final 35 engaged in community and economic development. I am providing this presentation to become a part of Mountain Empire Community College's 50th anniversary celebration record and college historical archives for those who follow in future years to enjoy. I accepted the position as Executive Director of the Lenawisco Regional Commission. That is an acronym for Lee, Wise, and Scott counties in the city of Norton. I accepted the position without very little research. If I had known what I had learned in the next 30 to 60 days, there would have been no acceptance for sure. The existing problems, which was completely overlooked by me, was a bad relations that had developed between the town of Big Stone Gap and the city of Norton over Big Stone Gap's proposed hospital. And Norton had 2 of their 3 hospitals that had uncertified beds, and surely additional certified beds in Big Stone Gap would have eliminated some of the beds in Norton. The other serious problem was the siting of a community college as established by the Virginia General Assembly and funded to serve wisely at Scott counties, the city of Norton, and the western half of Dickinson County. Having lived in the Shenandoah Valley area since 1965, I had become familiar with the siting process. The Weir's Cave campus opened in 1967. The state selected the geographic area to be served, leaving the task of finding an acceptable 100-acre usable site to the localities. This was a sure license for controversy, especially in rural areas. The host locality was responsible for 80% of the land and utility costs. The remaining costs to be borne prorated by the remaining partners. Water and sewer and natural gas, if available, was to be installed to within 5 feet of the initial structures, with roads being provided by the Virginia Department of Transportation. My first board meeting, I was informed the college was off limits to Lenawisco, period. Following the meeting, the chairman took me aside and said if I violated that edict, dismissal could surely happen. The founder of Lenawisco and also Southwest Virginia Region's representative on the state Community College Board was a well-respected Norton businessman and political leader, W.P. Canto. Mr. Canto had stated many times categorically the college was going somewhere in Wise County. Wise County and Scott County each had site committees as early as 1966, and Dickinson County, Lee and Dickinson counties declined to participate in the process. The local service area was established, as I've stated, to be Wise, Lee, Scott, half of Dickinson counties, and the city of Norton. It was determined the exact center of the proposed population area was at the top of Little Stone Mountain near the Hoot Owl Hollow Bridge, 2 miles west of the city of Norton. Wise County's site was immediately east of Big Stone Gap on State Route 610, known as the Slimp Farm. The site was questionable at best due to usable acreage requirement and floodplain issues, but was accessible to Big Stone Gap utilities. The Scott County site was west of Duffield, known as the Gregory Thomas Farm, comprising 400 acres, currently under option by Scott County for a dual purpose, the college and the proposed regional industrial park, currently in the planning and funding phases simultaneously. The Scott County Committee was headed by Gate City businessman Billy Frazier. He was chairman of the Scott County Board of Supervisors, Lennawisco, and 9th District Republican Party. The impasse developed between Wise and Scott over the site issue had cast a dark cloud over the industrial park's future and Lennawisco activities in general. Linwood Holton was elected governor in November 1969. He was a native of Big Stone Gap. 3 weeks into his term, his chief of staff, a good friend, T. Edward Temple, called me on a Friday morning informing me of his conversation with the governor only minutes before with the following instructions. Tell Bruce to locate a community college site as quickly as possible between Big Stone Gap and Duffield on Route 23, but not in either community serviceable by utilities. I request these parameters to protect the travel consideration of the Dickinson County students. The governor has discussed his decision with Billy Frazier this morning as well. Further, Bruce, if you are unable to locate such a site, I am washing my hands of this matter for the duration of my 4-year term. Mr. Temple concluded by requesting a response to him as soon as possible. A Saturday morning excursion by Lennawisco Regional Planner Philip Gross in the rear seat of the Lennawisco staff car with a various array of maps and me as the chauffeur with the 4-way flashers engaged on the car for our frequent pullovers and providing local knowledge of the landowners. After several trips on the designated portion of 23, we had pretty much decided the Clark Farm at Jasper was our best bet, although it had several problems being fronted by a railroad. Utilities would have to either be built independently on site or provided by the industrial park, both very costly. The clincher being Lee County would have to borrow to pay their required share. While still pondering the Jasper site, we stopped for lunch at the Highland restaurant located adjacent to Southwest Oil Company on 23 south of the Big Stone Gap corporate limits. Being seated at a large window, Gross asked me if I knew the size of the acreage he was viewing immediately west of our location. It certainly appeared to be 100 acre to meet the 100 acre requirement. Following lunch, we walked the site and decided this would be our selection. After preparing as much site information as was available, I called Mr. Temple of our selection Monday morning. We express mailed our information package to him, swearing our involvement to secrecy. Within a week, it was widely rumored the Wise County Site Committee was obtaining options on the selected site. The Little Wisco involvement secret was not revealed until in a 30th MECC history interview. Later, I found many Scott Countyans still very bitter. The state post-secondary education needs priority listed our Southwest Virginia area as number one. Due to the site delay, Mountain Empire was opened as campus number 21 of a total of 22 statewide. Governor Holton selected the site and saved 4 years of valuable time for our young people. I was only the messenger. Pogo of the comic strip summed it up best when he said, "We have met the enemy and it is us." I wish to conclude by congratulating Mountain Empire Community College on 50 years of great success and my best wishes for another half century of higher education service to this region.